Welcome, everyone. Here we are, the trial of Brian Walshe. And prosecutors have spent a whole lot of time, and we've covered a whole lot of evidence in this case, talking about these wild searches that he's done, about what do you do with the body, how long does it take, blah, 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 blah. None of it has anything to do with what the trial will ultimately be about for the jury. All the evidence that we are seeing in this case that is so incriminating of Brian Walshe is related to disposing of a body. He has pleaded guilty to that. He has conceded that. He has admitted to that. There is one issue in this case, which is how did Anna Walshe die? Her body's never been found, so there's no autopsy, there's no medical examiner report, there's no cause or manner of death by some expert. So the jury's got to figure it out without a body. Now, there's no body because of Brian Walshe. So it's strange. That's why in this program, we're going to focus on something that I think ends up being perhaps as important as anything else. Motive and what was going on in their lives. We're going to talk about Anna Walshe's lover. Welcome to the Tangent Podcast. I'm Vinnie Politan, lead anchor for Court TV, along with Albert H. Wunsch III, Esquire.
Hola, Tangenistas, and get set for a very, very interesting episode.
And the radio legend, the one and only Jonesy.
Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey.
And ladies and gentlemen, what you have tuned into, whether it's on purpose or by accident, is a little show we call the Tangent Podcast.
It's Vinnie and the Tangent, True Crime Podcast. Vinnie has the blue eyes, Al cracks the jokes. Jonesy stays behind his shades, entertaining all the folks. It's Vinnie and the Tangent, True Crime Podcast. Load up all your comments, hit those super chats. Let's go smash that like button, so we can all have a blast. Vinnie, Al, and Jonesy on the job. They're the Sugar Hill Gang of true crime. They're telling stories of days gone by. They take crime and turn into a good old time. It's Vinnie and the Tangent, True Crime Podcast.
Welcome. It is Friday. It's around midday, and the Tangent Podcast is here. Great to have you all aboard. Al, this case, to me, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, all this evidence, all these searches, everything can relate right back to what do you do with a body when you want to get rid of it. But none of it relates directly to where the defense wants this jury focused, which is how Anna died.
Right. That's correct. But it does look a little...
Wait. 1 second. Jones, you just notice, even when he's agreeing, he's got to stick a big butt in it.
Yeah. Excuse me. Well, the thing is this, okay, as we take a look at this case, one has to question what, we're talking about motive. What is the motive to dispose of a body that dies naturally? Okay. If the person dies naturally, if there's sudden adult death syndrome, okay, so we'll call it SADS as opposed to the horrible SIDS. So if you have that happen in your house, what do? Now, if you don't have anything to hide, generally you call 911 and you say, my spouse is not responsive. Can you send somebody over here and let's take a look at it? And see what's going on, and then they come and then they investigate and they take a look at the body and then they do an autopsy and they do things along those lines. And if you've got nothing to hide, you've got nothing to worry about, because that could happen. She could have had a heart attack, anything could have gone those lines. But
Aneurysm.
Aneurysm, right? But generally, when you start then going, how do we saw up a body? Okay, how do we, dispose? When does it start to smell? And at what point in time can I start getting insurance proceeds? Then you kind of send a little signal that there's something not kosher in this, pastrami sandwich, because there's a problem here. And that's why it's significant. You don't dispose of a body unless the body has something that can, be related back to you with regards to how that person became a body.
I get that. But I always bring it back to this. And, Kaylee Marie Anthony, her mother, same scenario. At the beginning of the trial, they basically turned it upside down and said, yeah, we knew that the little girl died, but she died accidentally. And then the body was disposed of. The body was found, but there was some forensic evidence, but no evidence that could give you cause and manner of death. There was duct tape in the hair, the skull, etc. However, that particular jury, this is what I always worry about when you put 12 people in a room. That particular jury, led by the foreperson, the gym teacher from Pinellas County, who said, listen, we don't know how she died, so we cannot convict her of anything.
Yeah, well, that's FLA, okay? FLA. And this is MA, all right? And I would have a very, very difficult time that being able to say that anyone looking at this in MA would be coming up with something along those lines. Now, a gym teacher that, is the one that, said, oh, well, this is the problem we have with this, that, the other thing. Wonderful. But it's Florida, and nothing makes sense in Florida. I don't know if it's the humidity, if it's the heat, if it's those little.
All right. Let me take you to Texas. Robert Durst dismembers, admittedly, his neighbor. They never find the neighbor's head. He's claiming self-defense.
Right.
And the jury said, well, we don't know exactly what happened because you never brought the head into court, prosecutors.
Well,
but that's what they said afterwards, Al. You can shake your head, but that's now two juries in cases to me that are obvious that we're blinded by the defense games.
Self-defense throws in a monkey wrench that is different than the situation we have here. He's not arguing that we had a fight and then I killed her accidentally or I pushed her and she hit her head. They're not arguing that in this case. They're not.
He admitted that he was responsible for the death. And he admitted that he decapitated him and got rid of the evidence.
Because of self-defense. Self-defense, different, completely different situation factually. Once you throw self-defense in there, especially in a place like Texas, where you have people that, it's like stand your ground, it's to protect your rights, protect your homestead, protect you.
But here you have another twist, though. Like, this is a guy who's already in the felon world with his Warhol issues, and he's going to federal prison. They can stand up there and argue, listen, he panicked. He didn't think anyone was going to believe him because he, number one, he's a criminal. Who's going to believe a criminal? Who's going to believe a fraudster? No one's going to believe it. That's why he panicked. That's what the argument is going to be. They're going to use the fact that this guy's a fraud to try to get him found not guilty. Like they're going to try to take those lemons and make lemonade.
Okay, and they're not going to be able to make anything lemonade up with regards to.
I worry.
I don't worry about this one. This is a slam dunk, and this is going to be a win right across the board.
Oh, there you go again, Al.
Because
Al,
I trust the people.
A slam dunk is not easy. A slam dunk is hard. Can you slam dunk?
I
can't slam dunk. Jonesy, can you slam dunk?
I've never tried.
No, maybe you can. Like a slam, it's not a slam. Maybe it's a layup, but it's not a slam.
Well,
Slam
layup is
dunk
easy.
is difficult.
Layup's easier. A layup is an easier shot than a slam
That's what I
dunk.
said. If you're going to make the analogy that's a slam dunk, then you're telling me it's almost impossible. Because what percent of the population can actually slam dunk a basketball?
Because, well, nowadays, the smallest person I knew that could slam dunk that I personally saw, other than the pros, was a guy on my football team at Fairfield University who was 5'10", and he could slam dunk.
He can't slam dunk anymore.
But he can't slam dunk anymore. Probably not. That's how I saw him. He also had gained a substantial amount of weight, so I don't think he could do that anymore. But looking at this situation here, even this guy's not an idiot, and if the sheet died suddenly, then there's no way an autopsy is going to show that he poisoned her or anything along those lines. So that's where this story falls apart. I
get it. I'm convinced. Trust me, I'm convinced. I worry about these jurors. Jonesy, do you worry about these jurors? I worry about them.
I'd actually
like this.
I'd actually be the perfect jury for the defense. I can think of one reason why you would dispose of a body, and it's been done, but it's not the situation in this case, and that's to continue to collect benefits, Social Security or whatever. People have done that kind of thing, or just not reported the death. But I'm in a situation looking at this, in spite of like what I may assume about it. The whole thing with the Odd Couple court scene about you should never assume because you make an ass of you and me. I'd be the guy on the jury saying, well, hey, we know we got rid of the body, but show me some more. Show me something here.
Show me,
I would be very skeptical. Now, in my heart, I may know, well, yeah, of course, he did it, allegedly did it. But I'd be the guy however, you're not showing me that.
Hey, Jennifer Lego 4221, Al, sending you winks and hearts for Al, and hello to Vinny and Jonesy.
Ooh,
look at that!
This is bad. Now, but Jonesy,
wait, there's more.
What?
Jennifer Lego, K.A. was decomposed. Dr. Garavaglia had no COD, cause of death.
I thought it was cash on delivery.
Yeah, Dr. Garavaglia is from the Kaylee Marie Anthony case.
Correct.
And yeah, she was decomposed because of the cop that didn't go in the woods because he was scared of a snake.
So
don't get me started. We've got one more we got to get to. This is Megan Jenkins, 2937. Brian Walshe is a joke. He's the dumbest criminal of the year. Lawyer, he's TikTok on Google rules cracked me up. I'm hyped for my sweater competition. But Al, why can't I find a picture of you smiling?
Picture of me smiling?
Yeah.
Because comedians don't smile.
Oh, that's deep, man.
Although, hey, there's almost a smile right there.
It's a smirk.
Jenkins, thank you so much. Can't find a picture of Al smiling. There it is.
That was a
smile.
Let me tell you something. Jonesy hit me with last week. Jonesy hit like 3 out of the park, and I was laughing like there was no tomorrow, and that is very hard to make comedians laugh.
I really enjoyed that to the point where when I was done, I went into the other room and I said, "Hey, Gina, I got Al to laugh 3 times."
You certainly did, and I give you credit for it, because we're constantly asked. I have people come up to me all the time telling me jokes, telling me this, giving me material that I can use and things along those lines. And 99% of the time I've heard the jokes before, or they're just not funny, and I don't laugh. And I feel bad because the people mean well, and and they're genuine in wanting to do something along those lines. It's just I've done this a long time, and there's really no jokes that are going to surprise me. And anything that they've heard or they've gotten off the internet has been there for years. So it's not going to surprise me or make me laugh by any stretch of the imagination. I will always thank them and be, gracious about it, but very hard to make a comedian laugh.
One of my favorite TV shows was a syndicated show called Make Me Laugh.
Yes, that was a very fun show. Oh, wait.
It's all happening Sunday, December 21st. It's the Christmas show, folks, the Christmas extravaganza. We've got musical numbers, special guests who you're going to love. It's going to be amazing. And then we've got contest opportunities for you to win wonderful prizes, trivia. Plus, we've got 2 contests you can enter ahead of time. More on that coming up a little bit later. But mark it down, Sunday, December 21st, 7 to 10.
One of the prizes, and we've been discussing this, is that you get one of us to come live with you for a week.
There you go.
So it's kind of nice.
All right, let's take a listen to a little bit of Anna's Lover.
I mean, I suppose.
So you had no intent.
I mean, you're having an illicit affair. You're always kind of concerned someone's going to find out, right?
I mean, I suppose.
So you had no intentions of having any immediate plans to openly start dating Anna Walshe with your 2 young boys.
Correct.
So when during an affair do you start making it public?
In that kind of affair, you don't.
You don't, right? I think he was broken up with his spouse or whatever because he has children also. Anna had not made the official break yet, but she's working in D.C. Right. They live in Massachusetts. He's actually their realtor. What do you think of that? The realtor helps them find a place down in D.C., and he ends up with the wife.
Well, it's obviously it is a interesting scenario. She's in D.C. She's the breadwinner of the family. He's in house arrest up in Massachusetts, and he has to have the kids with him because if the kids are not with him, he's going to be sitting in a jail cell. So the argument was he's going to be the caretaker for the children while she's down in Washington, D.C. making the money. So there's a distance between them. She doesn't have any anchors holding her back. Like, we have to find a babysitter for the kids or this, that, the other thing. And you know what? She met him, they hit it off, and she had an affair.
What do you think of her spending Christmas with the lover and not with her husband and kids?
You know what? Who am I to judge? I mean, I'm not going to judge on that. I mean,
it's going to be 3 kids, though. That's
well,
cool.
You know what?
I'm not blaming the victim here for anything, but I'm just saying, looking at the affair and the way it's playing out, you've got kids. It's Christmas. What are you doing?
I've been on both sides of that affair, and on her side, in that situation, the third party, if you will, the boyfriend, spends the holidays alone.
Yeah, and he has his kids too, so he's not really alone. So like I get it, and trust me, I believe this is a much better man for Anna. I believe he would have treated her much better and was just a better person in general than this fraudster, this psychopathic fraudster. And I think it was going to be a good move for her. I think she was struggling though with when to tell him, and her instincts were correct, right? If you look at it in retrospect, her instincts are correct. Like, listen, once I tell him I'm leaving, like things could get pretty bad here. And I guess he suspected and already knew to a certain extent what was happening. The mother had hired a private investigator, like all this stuff was going on. So I think at the end of the day, her instincts told her, I don't want to, I'm avoiding this moment because I know it could go really south. And it seems like he beat her to the punch, like he knew about it already. And as a result, she lost her life. Or maybe this is when she told him, and that's what caused her demise. Maybe this was the moment that she told him, listen, I'm leaving you. this marriage is over. I'm moving to DC, and you know what I mean? And this is what put him over the top.
But
again, he's disagreeing, Jonesy. You see, again, like now I'm on his side. Brian Walshe is guilty, but there's still a but.
On the other hand,
see, the thing is this: I don't like to be, you can't. What's the line from the movie with Patrick Swayze? You can't put baby in a corner. You can't put Al in a corner. Okay. All right. Darn it. She had an out with him in the sense that he would be going away soon anyway. Yeah. So why did you even need to tell him anything? Because he's going into a Fed pen at some point in time. Okay, he's there waiting to be sentenced or waiting to start his jail time with regards to the same, and he was going to be put away at some point. So there really was no incentive. Now, did she still have feelings for him? Well, the testimony, we heard that, from the boyfriend was that, she still had feelings. She still had, didn't think that this was going to be the be all and end all. I don't think he even thought, meaning the guy she had the affair with, that there was going to be that the two of them were going to live happily ever after.
I think they were planning that. They were looking at.
Well, they may have been planning it, but there was nothing.
It's like a Brady Bunch situation without, but
without Alice.
It's pretty freaking far from a Brady Bunch situation.
Well, no, because I think he has 3 kids and she has 3 kids. I don't know if he had 3 girls though, and I think they had 3 boys, as I recall. I think so many of these cases. I can't keep all the families.
Yeah, but the Bradys wouldn't have had an affair, nor would there have been a
No. I was gonna say the difference is in the Bradys they were both widowers, right? Widower, right? Here it would be people whose marriages broke up, but then got.
Do they ever officially say that they're widowers?
Yes, they do. Yeah, because in the first episode they talked about the not going to be replacing your father, not going to be replacing your mother, that type of thing. That was brought up in the pilot episode of the Brady Bunch.
Do you think that they were having an affair though, Mr. and Mrs. Brady, and the other two were rid of their respective spouses? Like,
if they were, we would have seen it.
No, because the affair would have preceded the TV series.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, I think that's an interesting movie to do. The Brady prequel, and they turn it into a true crime case where both spouses mysteriously die, and these two find each other.
Well, unfortunately, the father mysteriously died of AIDS as a result of. Well, he did. I mean, Robert Reed did die of AIDS. Unfortunately, it's tragic.
Yes, but not Mr. Brady. He was an architect. Was he an architect?
Oh yeah, there's no gay. There's no gay architects. What?
But he wasn't. Mr. Brady was not gay. Even if he was, there's nothing wrong with that, except he wasn't.
Well, they did share a bed, which was the first time that had happened on television.
See?
Did share a bed.
All right. And D.D. Moriak, I'm interested here. Happy Friday,
I thought that Dick Van Dyke was the first one to share a bed.
No, I don't think they shared a bed. I thought it was.
They didn't show it often, but I thought they did. Anyway, I digress.
Lucy didn't.
Happy Friday, Tangenistas, Vinnie E, Alan Jonesy.
Salud.
From D.D. Moriak. Thank you, D.D.
Thank you, D.D.
Yeah, I would be interested in a Brady prequel. I want to know how their spouses both died at young ages.
That's pretty brilliant, actually. But I would think that the people that own the rights to the Bradys would want to protect their image and not allow it.
At this point, they might maybe do it as a documentary.
You have all kinds of angles, though. Like one of the kids could suspect.
I think I'm going to do a mockumentary on that. That would be fascinating. You guys in?
I'm in.
You're in, Jonesy?
Right. Yeah, I could play Sam the Butcher.
Let me put that on my long list of unbelievable ideas I've come up with.
Maybe I play Sam the Butcher and I help dispose of the bodies.
Brady true crime prequel. All right, let's continue to listen to The Lover.
You knew that it was always a possibility after having these conversations that Anna would stay with Brian, the father of her children?
Yes.
While she would talk to you about arguments they had about finances or the stress of his federal case, she always spoke to you about him in a positive light.
Yes.
That's interesting that she didn't really trash him.
Well, I've been on both sides of that situation, and I've had situations where they would trash the other party, and I've had situations where they would say, "Oh, you would like him, yeah, right? We're going to be best pals, huh?"
Do you think when she was saying that she was trying to hint at something like, "Hey,
Nah.
the life of Jonesy." Oh,
Hey, man.
all right. Let's
Radio
listen.
DJ, like while the husband's watching football, that's my busy season.
Here's more of the lover.
In Cohasset on Christmas Eve and getting there later on Christmas Day.
She told me that they had an argument about it, and there were some points of contention. His inability to resolve his criminal case, and the fact that because of that, she couldn't be with her children and bring them back to Washington, D.C.
Okay, so this is really the crux of what's going on, right? So she can't move to D.C. because of the kids. You can't just take kids out of state. Now, if he's in the federal lockup, I think you have a much better argument to do that, but you'd still, I don't know if a family court judge would compel visitation, in-person visitation in a prison.
I don't believe that they do. Depending, there is sort of a tender years of exception with regards to visitation, in-person visitation in prisons. They would not be able to deny him access via phone. They would not be able to deny, that kind of stuff. But
now they do FaceTime. Now they do FaceTime.
Right, and they can actually do that. But I mean, I don't know of any court that has ever mandated that the kids have to go to a federal jail or even a state jail. I've never seen that happen.
So there was, a lot of, it became a bit of an issue, the fact that she, came home late on Christmas Day. Like, to me, that's
a red flag.
Well, I just saw this something, and I just seem to remember this. Her flight was canceled on Christmas, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it might have been some weather issues, etc. Right. But like, she could have been home. She didn't have to work. We know what she was doing. Like, she was with her lover because she wanted to be with her lover around the holidays.
If the flight's canceled, then she had no choice. I mean, that's not her.
A Christmas Day flight, she should have been there 2 days ahead of time. Come on, Al. Be honest.
You don't know.
Nobody's working. Nobody's working on Christmas Eve.
Oh, you know what? Bob Cratchit was working on Christmas Eve.
Nobody works anymore.
Bob Cratchit.
Where I live, people don't even work on Fridays like regular during the week. I mean, I remember I'd go outside. All the dads are like home. I'm like, these people don't work. Nobody works on Fridays anymore. Like, Friday is total blow off day. Then you put a holiday, forget it. Nobody's working. Do you remember growing up, like, Thanksgiving week was not like a complete blow off? Now, Thanksgiving week, there's no school all week long. Nobody's going to work all week. It's a different world we live in.
Not at the law offices of Albert H. Wunsch III. Okay.
Oh, come on.
We were open that week. We were off on Thursday and we were off on Friday. Okay. But I was working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. In fact, I had court the Monday before.
That's a bunch of baloney. Nobody's working. Nobody works. Nobody works anymore. The schedules are different. We're just, because we got, people can do stuff on Zoom. They can do it on the phone. And I think there's just a mentality that, people are working a little bit less. Like, it's not like the olden days, man. I remember
You know, there's
I
a
remember
lot
the
of
olden
people.
days.
There's a lot of people in retail watching right now that are probably screaming at their
But I
monitor.
get. I'm talking about people. You know, whether you're working on insurance, wherever. You know, you're doing all these jobs. There are certain jobs. Like my grandmother worked every. She was a server. She was a waitress. She loved to work. It drove my father crazy because she didn't have to work, but she loved to work. So she would be working at Ann's Clam Bar on Christmas Eve.
Well,
We have to
cool.
go pick her up,
Nice.
right? Same thing on New Year's Eve. She'd be working New Year's Eve. We go pick her up because she just loved it. She loved it, which was fine. And certain industries, yes, like in my industry, generally when I was in regular like TV news, like there's no holidays. It is what it is. Like, yeah, there's the holiday staff, or that's when you as a young person can jump in, and that's the first time I got to anchors around the holidays. Jump
It's
on
always the best time to watch live local television because they have the B crew, and they'll like the audio won't be there, or they'll go to the wrong video or whatever. It's a lot of fun from a viewer's standpoint. I used to work the holidays when I worked at Court TV, but only because there was nothing to do, and I refused to use my PTO, paid time off, for the days before the holiday, and I would save it for something more fun. Now, of course, that was back in the old days.
Yeah.
These days, they'd probably just tell me, stay home, dude.
Well, we at Court TV now realize we don't do the live programming around holidays because all the courts are closed. There's nothing really happening. So we go into other programming. But when I first started at Court TV, that's when you would do the marathon. I was the guy, the young anchor. I was doing more work on Christmas Eve than I would otherwise because I would fill in for the more senior anchors. I say, yeah, I'll do their shows. So I would do 4 or 6 hours on Christmas Eve, and I'd still be out by 5 o'clock or whatever. So it was no big deal. But I think the mentality is different now. People aren't working; they're just not working.
As you know, I represent a lot of police officers, and so I'm 24/7. I get calls on Christmas Day if there's a shooting. I've got to be there. So I'm working all the time.
I don't care if you're closed or not on a holiday, Al. If I get in trouble, I'm using your cell phone.
That's exactly right, and I get that, and it's happened, and it's I've many a time on holidays I've been sitting at a crime scene or sitting trying to get somebody out of jail for a long weekend or whatever the situation is. So I wouldn't know what it would be like not to have to do that. So I'm there. So
hey,
if you have a call, give me a call.
By the way, folks, we've got opportunities in the Christmas extravaganza coming up on the 21st of December. But you've got to enter now in order to have an opportunity to win. And we've got a couple of great competitions, of course. One of them is the ugly sweater competition.
Send a photo of your sweater to the moss, old or new. The winner gets a prize during Tangent Christmas Extravaganza 25. Old or new, send it to the moss. Send it to the moss. Tangent Ugly Sweater Contest. Tangent Ugly Sweater Contest. Send it to the moss.
In the opening shot, is that like a 4-headed sweater, or are they all wearing the same sweater?
Let me see. Let's take a look at it.
It looks like a 4-headed sweater.
Yeah, it was a 4-headed sweater. You're correct.
Cool.
The 4-headed sweater. But there, send it to Vinny's Mods at gmail.com. Gen X here. Is there a deadline for entry?
Oh,
yeah, the deadline is approaching. We need those entries coming in.
December 25th.
What's that?
December 25th.
No, the party, the extravaganza is on the 21st.
Oh.
And we've got to get everything lined up and ready to go before then. So we're going to need everything in by, I think we have like 10 days left, the 15th.
You know what's going to happen is somebody who loses the contest, and nobody really loses, somebody who doesn't win the contest is going to go to their Christmas tree and open up the present from Cousin Barbara, and it's going to be like the ugliest sweater you've ever seen.
Darn, next year. next year. So make sure you enter, folks. Great prizes, by the way, all night long. I'm going to break out the CrimeCon wheel, so we'll be spinning the wheel a little bit. Trust me, folks. It's going to be 3 amazing hours, and we could go into overtime if we can afford to pay Jonesy overtime. We're going to go overtime. Is it time and a half, or you get double time?
It's time and a half, unfortunately.
Okay, time and a half, Jonesy. If we go late, all right.
Late is good.
Yeah.
Now, if it were Christmas, it would be double time plus time and a half.
We went very long last time.
Yeah, we did. It's the extravaganza, folks. Just remind you, Sunday, December 21st, 7 to 10 p.m. Mark your calendars. Give yourself an alert on your phone and be ready for it.
If you can't come, call. If you can't call, write. If you can't write, we don't want you there.
Exactly. Back to the lover.
And the fact that it felt like it was holding up her life.
Okay.
Now, the next thing I want to play, this is really, to me, very fascinating. So apparently Brian Walshe, when his wife goes missing, which we now know I just did air quotes, by the way. We know he's the one that made her go missing. But I think he leaves a voice message for Anna's lover.
He does.
The old voice message.
Brian Walshe. I hope all is going well. I was just reaching out to basically everybody I could. Anna hasn't been in touch for a few days. I spoke to work today. She hasn't been in. They went to the house and she wasn't there, or it was like she's been there recently. So just wondering if you've spoken to her in the near, recently, like Sunday or the last 2 days. Just so let me know, or if you know anyone that might have that contact with her, calling everyone. So sorry to bother you. Sure, everything's fine, and we should.
Creepy.
Well, that settles it. He must be not guilty. He was trying to find out her whereabouts.
Well, he knew where her whereabouts were.
But now he's admitted it all. That's why, like, this case, like, if he didn't admit that he did it, this case is every piece of evidence is devastating, but now every piece of evidence is okay. Now we can hear him lying. We know he's lying. He's admitted that he's lying. And we got to figure out, I think Al is correct, figure out, well, why would he lie about this? There's no other reason other than he's responsible for what happened to her. I just hope the jury uses that common sense, because I've seen jurors, you get into a case, and sometimes with the longer trials, I think it's more common to happen, where all of a sudden you can't see the trees through the forest. Or is it the forest through the trees?
Forest through
the trees.
You can't see the forest through the trees.
From the trees.
You can't see the forest from the trees. Whatever it is, I mess up that thing all the time.
I know it because of the Michael Nesmith song.
Oh, very good. One of the Monkees.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they never should have wrote their own songs. They should have just stuck with the hits.
Well, no,
they were beating the Beatles. The Monkees were beating the Beatles. Like, you had the best songwriters in the world writing hit after hit for you. Just ride it, man.
Mike Nesmith wrote some absolute incredible songs, and Monkees Headquarters is a phenomenal album where they wrote all their own and did their own instruments.
And how many records did they sell compared to how many they sold when other people were writing?
That was a bestseller. That was one of their top.
But their time would have been limited anyway, even if they stuck with the best songwriters. And I do agree with you on that.
They would have had Sugar.
Well,
their was time written for them, and they refused Sugar.
Yeah, that was what broke them up with Don Kirshner. Kirshner was absolutely pissed off that they wouldn't take that song.
That was a certifiable hit. And then a bunch of cartoon characters sang it. It's crazy.
Well, the Archies were, but that was a one-hit wonder, and they were done.
Was Suzanne Summers one of the Archies?
I don't believe so.
Trying to think of the guy's name. He had a lot of hits. The guy who actually sang it, Ron something or another, Ron Dante or something like that. And and that was actually the Archies were actually him, but he did a lot of those bubblegum songs that were released under the name of other
1910
artists.
Fruit Gum Company.
Oh yeah, well the 1910 Fruit Gum Company were from Jersey. I think I want to say Linden, New Jersey, but it was actually him who was doing it.
And that was just a made up name.
No, they were a real band. It's just they weren't allowed to record.
Ron Dante, right?
Ron Dante, yes.
Yeah.
By the way, folks, we're streaming live on Facebook. We're live streaming on my YouTube, Twitch, X, and on Court TV's YouTube. It looks like they're going to break for lunch now. I'm keeping my eye on the courtroom.
I wonder what's for lunch.
Yeah, well, I could tell you because that's Dedham, Massachusetts. I could tell you what's available there.
Okay.
So, back in the turn of the century, when I covered the Dr. Dirk Greinader trial, there was a place down the street, and I couldn't find it when I went back 20 years later, or more than 20 years later, or about 20 years later. They had the best chicken cutlet with peppers. It was just a tremendous sandwich. And I got the tip from one of the courtroom bailiffs, right? Because if you roll into town, you want to know where to get lunch, you ask the bailiffs, right? Or the deputies. They're going to know. So when I went back up there, I started asking some of them, and they did not know. So my guess is the place must have closed down where I'd gone. So when I did go up there, they actually had a great bagel shop, believe it or not, Massachusetts. Warm bagels coming out all day. Very, very good. I also would have lunch closer to the hotel because there were a couple of restaurants there that were just, so good. And I walked in and I ended up going to the same one every day. And after a while, they kind of knew me and they're like, hey, it's like Norm when you would go in. But good food up in Dedham. Definitely.
But don't the jurors, they get served whatever, right?
It depends. It depends. I don't know if this jury is being dismissed because they protected the jury in the Karen Reed trial, so they would bring them food. So and in the Greinader trial, they brought them food when they were deliberating. But otherwise, I think they were just walking in and out of the courthouse.
So how do you prevent a key player in the case from happen to go to the same place?
You warn them, and so that's why when when I deal with a jury, I always make sure the judge announces to them that we're not allowed to talk to them, and that if they see me on an elevator and I'm not friendly when they say hi, it's the reason being is I can't engage in a conversation.
What if the jury asks, why doesn't he ever smile?
Juries have asked that question, and I'm free to answer because comedy is not pretty, and sometimes I don't have a reason to smile.
We had an issue in the Michael Skakel trial because it was in Connecticut. It was a pretty small town. And the jurors would go out and eat lunch together. And oftentimes they would be in the same restaurant with the defendant, with the victim's mother. And, they had to be very careful about how loudly people spoke.
Well, you could base judgments on physical activity. You could watch a lawyer and the accused, and you could be staring at them and just see their gestures and stuff.
Yeah.
And your imagination could take control.
Yeah, it's absolutely very, very dangerous. Now, one thing, jurors are supposed to either wear their badges or their stickers, and so they identify themselves throughout the day. If you have jury duty, like I did, you would wear that so people know, listen, I'm a juror. Just warning you, I'm a juror, so be careful, what you say around me. And at Court TV, we always had to be wary of this because we're covering trials and we would be doing live shots at lunchtime. Jurors could be walking behind us. So we were always sort of conscious about where's the jury. And there were times where, we'd be in the middle of a live shot and jurors would be walking by and we say, listen, I can't, there's some jurors walking by right now. So, or walking behind the camera. So I'm just going to, and you have to be transparent about it because we never wanted to interfere with what we said in the judicial process. And we've been very successful at that, Court TV, through the years.
And Vin, my answer whenever the juror asks the question is, "Oh, why do we never see him smile?" And I just say, it's not easy having a good time. Even smiling makes my face ache.
We had a Jersey lawyer on Court TV. I won't name him, but he once told me that he spoke to a juror after a case that he won, and the juror told him that when you were in the restroom, I was very impressed that you washed your hands before leaving, and claimed that had some sort of effect on the person, that they thought, well, I can trust him, kind of thing.
Gen X pointing out that Al is smiling on the inside, and of course, Gen X, part of our legendary. At this point, I think we can say legendary,
mythical
Mod Squad.
The Mod Squad, keeping order in the chat. The Mod Squad, the Mod Squad, spotting trolls who attack. The Mod Squad, oh, Gen X is ready and on the scene. Frankie Biggs making sure they're keeping it clean. And Jennifer Soubey telling haters don't be so mean. And Ashley Bouchard on top of our Facebook screen. We are the Mod Squad, cleaning up the mess. The Mod Squad, the Mod Squad, simply the best. The Mod Squad, the Mod Squad.
By the way, the Mod Squad will be playing a vital role during the Christmas extravaganza, so get ready for that.
absolutely.
Well, though, one of the roles will be to keep the relatives from arguing with one another in the comment section. I would assume.
Comment section, yeah. All right. Oh, I have one more thing. So this case comes down to, how did Anna Walshe die, right?
Right.
And she's a young woman. I think she's 39 years old. And prosecutors, I think, were smart. They kind of addressed the issue. They didn't just ignore it and say, "Oh, come on, this is ridiculous." They actually put on a witness talking about Anna and what kind of shape she was in.
Bar method. Our members asked about their health.
So this is her bar instructor. For those of you who don't know what bar is, it's a type of workout, and it's really, really difficult, because I've taken some bar classes. The instructor is probably more difficult. My instructor happened to be Russian, and she played no games. Talk, lift. And then they give you these little tiny dumbbells, right? They're probably like 2.5 pounds. And she would kill you with them. Absolutely kill you with these little tiny dumbbells. And you're like, "Oh, this is 2.5 pounds. What is she doing to me?" But they figure out a way to just zero in on these muscles and just tear your body apart. It's so much fun. Let's listen.
Yes.
In December of 2022, how often would Anna Walshe attend bar method?
3 or 4 times at least. And she was doing the push-ups on the balls of her feet, on her hands. She was completing the motions.
You're not a doctor.
No,
You're not a nurse.
I am not.
Did you perform any type of medical tests on Anna Walshe on December 31st?
No, I did not.
So what do you think of this testimony? I like it. Because there's no indication there's anything wrong with her. And they're pointing out, listen, this woman's in great shape. She's not like on the brink of death.
I don't think that says much. It doesn't to me anyway, because some people are in the best of health, and suddenly something happens, and you're like, "Wow, how did that happen?"
But it does set it up to make it look like this is a woman that has taken care of herself. She's not, in any way falling apart, and that she cared about her appearance and cared about her health. And that's hence the reason why she's taking those courses and doing those things and working out as strenuously as she is. Does that definitely mean that she didn't have sudden adult death syndrome? no, but it does give the jury an opportunity to take a look and say, all right, this is a person that was healthy. Look, you know what? This guy's got so many other issues with regards to same. The fact he disposed of the body in and of itself is indicative of guilt, as far as I'm concerned. The fact that he got rid of it, and the fact that he played the game of like, where is she? I'm going to call her friends and ask. And I didn't do it because she got mad when I didn't see her for Christmas, and I questioned where she was going to be. So I just didn't want to, get her mad at me again. Come on. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Well, and the other part of this, and I think prosecutors are set up perfectly for all of this, right? Ladies and gentlemen, like the cause of death. Why don't we have cause of death in this case? It's for one reason only. It's because because of him. So you use that. I think you use the lover, the breaking up of the marriage, the D.C., Massachusetts issue, his pending federal sentence that was going to happen. His life was unraveling. It was falling apart. He had very little leverage because he's at some point he's going to have to pay the price for the Warhol scam that he ran. She was doing very well. She was making like over $300,000 a year.
Yeah.
So she was doing well. She could take care of the kids.
Had a big insurance policy too, which also helps.
Yeah.
And then that was one of the other questions he was looking up. So when can I get the insurance proceeds? When can she be declared missing? When can she be declared dead?
That could be used against him, right? Can you use that against him? Because if she's missing, it's more difficult to collect the insurance versus if she just died of natural causes. Now I've got the money. I need money, whether it's for a lawyer or to take care of my kids or whatever. Why would you then get rid of the body, which will delay the payment of life insurance proceeds for a tragedy? None of it makes sense. So
well, am I mistaken, or is it a myth that it's 7 years when you go missing?
I don't know
that you can be declared dead. It might be a myth.
It might be a myth. I think it depends upon circumstances, because we've certainly had cases that are less than 7 years, no body, red rum trials in cases. So I think that's a myth. Maybe there's a presumption after a certain amount of time where once you hit a certain point of time, like the burden kind of shifts a little bit to someone being presumed dead versus you having to prove it. That may be, and my guess is it's probably state to state also.
Laws in that are probably subject to change too, because you have situations like September 11th where people didn't come home,
right?
And eventually, you've got to assume that they're gone.
So I want to get to one more thing, which is another one of the competitions at the.
And then a little history today, because some interesting things happened on this.
The strongman competition?
And by the way, Jonesy, you said about 7 years. That is correct. That Social Security uses that as a unexplained absence.
We're gonna crown the Tanganista of the year. It could be a man, it could be a lady, but whoever it is, they got to be the greatest. The Tanganista of the year. The Tanganista of the year. The Tanganista of the year.
What an honor. What a crowning achievement it would be. We are going to crown our Tanganista of the year, and you will be the Tanganista of the year throughout 2026. But to win, you got to be nominated. Now, you can nominate yourself. Please don't be shy. Be bold. Nominate yourself, or you can nominate another one of the Tanganistas. And we've got both situations happening right now in the competition. Send a video, 60 seconds or less. What should be in the video? That's up to you. Make the pitch. It's like an elevator pitch. Do I have to be on camera? No, you don't have to be. The video is up to you, however you want to do it. We just need a piece of video, no more than 60 seconds. I would say at least 1 second, and explain why the person being nominated should be the Tangenista of the year.
Works for me. Well, Vin, and then historically speaking.
Well, historically, did you see Miss New Jersey in this little promo that we run?
I did see that.
For you.
That's why I was going to bring that up.
Civil war to civil rights and all the revolution fights. World War I and World War II. Well, always knows who is who. It's this day in history. This day in history. History. Now let's listen to his story.
We'll start off with the Revolutionary War, as we know that the 250th anniversary of that is coming up. On this day in 1770, 2 British soldiers were convicted of manslaughter for the actions at the Boston Massacre. There were 7 soldiers that were brought up on trial. Actually, 8 soldiers. 6 were acquitted, and 2 were convicted of manslaughter. They were all the soldiers were represented by the same 2 attorneys, which was John Adams and Josiah Quincy. And 6 were, as I said, were acquitted. Now, the soldiers that were convicted, their punishment was they had a brand of an M on their thumb. That's the only thing that happened to them, and it meant that they were a murderer, a red rummer. Okay, so they had to have an M on their thumb. They had no jail time, no capital punishment as a result of this, which seems a little ridiculous, but nonetheless, that's what happened. And then in true crime, on this day, okay, in 1960, okay, and it should be 1916, it was the last stagecoach robbery in American history. So the last stagecoach.
I know who it is.
I'm sorry?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. In Janbridge, Nevada. Okay, the driver was red rummed, and there were 3 individuals that ended up getting the money. There was about $4,000 on the stagecoach, and they were captured, convicted. They were supposed to get the D pen, but they didn't. It was converted to life in prison, and they didn't serve life in prison. On this day in 1991, it was the death of Richard Speck, that piece of garbage who had red rummed 8 students, nurses in Chicago. He died on this day. It was the day before his birthday. He passed away. In 1920, okay, it should be 1930, it was the arrest of Charles Bannon. Charles Bannon was 22 years of age, and he was working at a household, and it was the Haven family, and the Havens disappeared, all of them. There's 6 of them, all disappeared. And he continued to work there. And then people got suspicious when he started selling off their property and said, well, they went away and they told me to do this. Turned out that he had red rummed every one of them. He was captured on this day. He was put in jail, but he was captured for, believe it or not, larceny. And then once they did the investigation, they noticed that he actually had executed everyone. While he was in prison awaiting his trial, the town residents broke into the jail, grabbed him, and then strung him up over a bridge in North Dakota. So that was the last hanging that occurred in North Dakota on January 29th, 1931. Finally, on this day in history, Mozart died in 1791. A day that Vinnie seems to rue, but I know Jonesy and I are very happy about. In 1933, the end of Prohibition, after Utah ratified the 21st Amendment.
What a mistake.
And then there's some eerie events that occurred on this day. In 1872, the ship Mary Celeste is discovered mysteriously abandoned by its crew of 10 in the Atlantic Ocean. There was nothing wrong with the ship. It was seaworthy. There was all this stuff on it. Everything was on the ship. They had everything mapped out. The only thing that was missing was the lifeboat, and they never found the people. That boat in and of itself became known as the ghost ship, the Mary Celeste. Also on this day, Squadron 19 in 1945, Squadron 19 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle and were never seen again. And the rescue plane that they sent out to try to find them also mysteriously disappeared. To this day, they have never found any of the wreckage of any of those 6 planes. 1955 began the historic bus boycott in Montgomery, Alabama, started by Rosa Parks. And then in 1964, Captain Roger Donlin was awarded the first Medal of Honor for service in the Vietnam War. 1965, the debut album of The Who, My Generation, was released in the United Kingdom. 1973.
Wait, are we listing what happened on this day in like every year?
Well,
since
just
the Revolutionary War.
No, not every day, but these are just things that I know. I mean, The Who's release in 1965 is remarkable considering that they're still performing today. And then 1973, Band on the Run was released. And in 1974, something that I know is very, very near and dear to all of our hearts, the final episode of Monty Python's Flying Circus airs on BBC. It's entitled Party Political Broadcast. And at this point in time, John Cleese had already left Monty Python. It was the last season, and this was the day for the last episode. That's what happened on this day, December 5th.
How about that? Let's get back to Celeste. You said Celeste, and this is all I can think about now.
I thought we had a sponsor.
No, Mama Celeste Pizza. You don't remember Mama Celeste Pizza?
Of course. But when did I say Celeste?
Wasn't that the name of the boat?
No, that's right. The Mary Celeste. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mama
So
Celeste.
it was carrying frozen pizzas?
It was not. It was carrying actually alcohol, and they thought that, and there was, and all the alcohol was there except 6 of the kegs were empty. Okay, now they don't know if they leaked out or whatever the situation was, but there were 6 things on that. But the crew, the captain, were never heard of again. And it's one of those great mysteries that became, a cause celeb of the ghost ship Mary Celeste.
Interesting. Now, by the way, frozen pizzas come a long way.
Yes.
Like, it's still not as good as like when you get it at a pizza shop, right?
Tree Tavern.
Tree Tavern's old school. The old school ones were like, The ones today, they do a really good job, which is interesting.
Like I said, I had a slice of Paul Newman's frozen pizza on Thanksgiving night, and it was outstanding.
It was there you go.
You know, like my heart, when I buy a frozen pizza, I want to buy like Tree Tavern, which began in Patterson, I believe, at a bar, Patterson, New Jersey, that is. But I might have to go with the Paul Newman.
There you go. By the way, let's get to a few of the comments here. Let's see what folks are saying. Megan Jenkins loves the Quest for the Holy Grail.
Oh, of course. You can't go wrong with Monty Python. The Monty Python movies are hilarious. Life of Brian is actually a very much in the Christmas season.
Right.
Okay.
Pussycat likes Life of Brian.
Can't go wrong with that one.
Yes.
Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. What's myrrh? It's a bomb. A bomb? Why would you give a bomb to a child?
She turned me into a newt.
That's the best line was like, feel free to stop by any time, but next time, not so much of that myrrh.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, you may have noticed my sweatshirt. Part of some of the items that we have in the True Crime Merch Shop. And I want to show folks some of the newer items that we have, just so they are familiar with some of the great potential Christmas gifts that are out there. For instance, look at this. Let me make it bigger. This is the official shirt of the Christmas extravaganza, featuring your hosts. It comes in all different colors. I just put the green here. You can also get white. You can get a lighter green. You can get red. I
look like the shortest of the 3. And
I was gonna when I first saw it, I was like, look how short he made Al.
I'm now.
It is what it is.
All of a sudden, I'm like, Joe Pesci. Hey, I'm the guy in the middle, for God's sakes.
I am much larger than both of you, though, by the way.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say larger. I would say taller.
Taller.
Yes, indeed.
I amuse you?
I'll show you another one of the great items that's available.
I slump a lot.
Al likes this one. This is a
Yes.
great new design. The Accomplished Accomplice.
Accomplished accomplice.
Very nice.
Comes in different, and I'm showing you these colors. It comes in all different colors. That's the beauty of the shop. We also have a newly designed Hug the Kids. This is the new design on the Hug the Kids 2025 design. Look at that.
You want to sell shirts? I'll tell you. You get yourself a Hug the Cats.
Hug the Cats.
Cat lovers will buy anything.
Oh, maybe we'll do that. And of course, it's getting cold outside, so you want to keep warm. You got the allegedly winter caps also available. And what else can I show you here?
Great Christmas gifts.
Yeah, but if you're traveling to the beach or you're getting ready for next summer, you've also got these great beach towels.
Excellent.
The Tangent beach towels with the full body outline.
Nobody's going to steal your chair.
And we've got more things in the hopper coming up with some more artwork.
Yes, and here, of course, is our number one seller, the allegedly collection of hoodies and T-shirts.
And there's no allegedly without Al.
That's true. Although, if you look at Al, it does look like AI.
No, that's true.
You're going to have to deal with that the rest of your life, by the way. Al.
I know.
That's a passing phase.
I don't think so. Because look, right here, I love that Al is Sammy, but I love that AI is Sammy.
Yeah, but the whole AI thing, passing phase, it'll go the way of rap music and Madonna.
I know you're joking because AI is here to stay, baby.
Unfortunately.
No, it's not unfortunate. It's like our show could go on forever.
True.
100 years from now, we could have the Tangent podcast with AI.
That's
True.
right.
Years ago, I said to a computer genius friend of mine, if I used to love Bob Murphy, the baseball announcer, I said, if there's only 46 sounds in the English language, like they say on the commercial, could you not recreate the voice? And back then, this was the 80s. He said, well, you absolutely could, but it's not going to have, the same. Somebody's going to have to type it in, and it's not going to be him. Well, now it can be him, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. And by the way, you don't even have to type it in. Like you can type in prompts. You don't even have to type.
I saw a frightening special, 20-minute magazine piece on AI, where they had this AI robot, Claudia or Claudette or something like that, and they leaked to it that they were going to eliminate it, and it had a will to survive. It wanted to sustain. So they also let it see some text messages of the person who was going to turn it off, implying that they were having an affair. So it plays into this trial. And the robot chose to blackmail him.
Was trying to blackmail the person that was going to shut down
Sent
the
him
robot.
messages that if you do not give up on this idea of eliminating me, I will release this information to everybody.
2001: A Space Odyssey.
I know. That's frightening.
It is.
Thank you, April Diaz. Have a great day today. Thank you, April Diaz. We appreciate everything you say. We all know she's a great fan, and we know the kind words she has. We always love to hear from you. Thank you, April Diaz.
Yes. A big thank you, April Diaz. Happy weekend, Vinny. Did you know you're in a doc on Netflix for a few seconds? Yeah, I'm in a few of them on Netflix. It's all my time at Court TV, being at the courthouse.
I've seen you on all kinds of programs.
Yes. The thank you so much, April Diaz. The one where that I'm thinking of that I'm in the most is The Staircase. That's the big one. But there's some other ones, and I'm trying to remember which ones they are. But there's several of them, and every time it's funny, right? I'm on for 2 hours every night, but you put me in a Netflix documentary for 5 seconds, I start getting text messages, because that's a whole different crowd of people, right? Like there's the people that watch court TV,
Yep.
and the people who watch online and stuff, and then there's the people that they only stream. Oh, hey, Vinny, just saw you on da. I'm like, yeah, and you can watch me for 2 hours every night live. Anyhow,
2 hours.
2 hours. So once again, I want to remind everyone, Sunday, December 21st, 7 to 10 p.m., the Christmas extravaganza. Lock it in. Trivia, prizes, musical numbers, special guests. It's going to be an amazing show. It's lots of fun. Turn on the fire, turn the music on in the background, and get ready to watch an old-time Christmas extravaganza.
Family fun. So, I mean, wake the neighbors, wake the kids, have them next to you. And, it's a family fun show. The way Christmas specials used to be in the 70s and the 60s.
I don't know. Are you sure you want children watching after we have a couple of eggnogs?
Well, you know what? The kids have to learn sometime.
Johnny Knoxville, thank you. Merry Christmas, Jonesy, Wunsch, and Vinny. Looking forward to the December 21st show. If you're ever in Chapel Hill, hit me up for Al's Burger Shop. Check.
Cool.
Knoxville.
I like that they call you Wunsch.
I know. I like that too. I was like,
so it should be Jonesy, Wunsch, and Politan.
Yes.
No, Vinny. Politan's too complicated.
So if we were a law firm,
it's easier.
It would be Vinny and Associates.
Vinny and Associates.
By the way,
no Vinny and Sons.
Vinny and Sons. Thank you, Johnny Knoxville. Chapel Hill is awesome town, by the way. Awesome town. Last time I was in Chapel Hill, I was covering a trial. This is years ago. I was covering a trial, and during the trial, I was playing hoops at the local Y, and I was playing against some of the women from the North Carolina team.
Really?
Did they beat you?
No. Now I was much younger, so like I was holding my own.
Well, that
Well, still, I mean, they're semi-pros. That's why I asked.
Yeah. No, they were great players, but I was no slouch.
So
what?
So you were able to quote unquote hold your own and the
against Division I female basketball
Division
players.
University of North Carolina women's basketball team.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I believe you. I know. That's
true.
the oceanfront land in Missouri. I'd like to sell you too.
It's the truth. What do you want from me? You want me to lie?
No, I'm
over 6 feet tall, Al. I'm over 6 feet tall.
I was once 5'11"3/4.
Based on that shirt, you're like 7'3", okay, compared to Jones and me, and I'm 5'4". All right,
Al, Gen X caught you smiling.
All right, there you go.
I see him smiling all the time.
Well, I'm smiling because of the watching you play the University of North Carolina's female basketball team.
Well, yeah, it wasn't playing the whole team. A couple of members of the team were playing at the Y.
All right.
What
Okay.
do you want to do? You know?
I'm
You want me to lie? I'm not going to lie.
No, not in the. I don't want that at all. Absolutely.
All right.
Heavens to Gimbals, no. No.
All right. Big thanks to our mod squad. Thank you for all the super chats and the great comments. Al, where can people find you?
Okay. Well, folks, Monday night, I'm on Closing Arguments with Vinnie Politan on Court TV every Monday night from 8 to 9. Now, I know we're getting ready for the holiday break, but I know we have a show on Monday, so that should be a good time then. Next week, I'll be at the Army-Navy game in Baltimore. So if anyone is in Baltimore and anyone's going to the Army-Navy game, send us a line. Let me know. We can definitely see you guys down there because I'm going to be having a great time down there. And other than that, that's about it.
All right. Where can folks find the
Hasta la vista, Los Angelistas.
Where can folks find the radio legend, Jonesy?
Well, 1 week from tomorrow, December 13th, I will be DJing live at White Eagle Hall in Jersey City, JCNJ, USA.
Great place. Great place.
I will warm up the crowd at 6 o'clock. The show starts at 7. It is sumo wrestling. And from 7 p.m. on, I'll be that guy in the sky who pumps up the crowd with the music.
Fantastic. Jonesy back at the sumo wrestling.
Yeah, it's a gas. Like when I first started doing it, I thought I love pro wrestling. I never had any use for sumo wrestling. It's actually very exciting.
All right, and I'll be on every night from 8 to 10, 8 to 9. It's Closing Arguments with Vinnie Politan, all the big stories of the day. We're on a verdict watch tonight. I expect a verdict in the beauty queen Trinity Pogue trial tonight, so look out for the red tie. Then from 9 to 10, Vinnie Politan investigates, a deep dive into a big mystery story, upcoming trial, whatever we're taking a look at. Tonight, I can't remember what we're doing tonight. But
Did you ever have to change your tie during a commercial break?
Yes.
Because a verdict came in after 8?
Murdoch. In the Murdoch trial, I'm live at the scene. I've got my red tie, but I pre-tied it because I knew there was a chance. We were on a verdict watch.
Why did you get a clip on?
No. I could put a real one on. But anyway, I'm sitting next to you, Chanley and I, and my guest is there. And then something's happening there. And then, looks like we got to, and then we're in a commercial. And it was like, it's a verdict. I'm like, oh, yeah, of course it's a verdict. I grabbed the red tie, come back, got the verdict tie. Ready to go. All right, folks. Thanks so much for watching. Jonesy, 1 second. Gonna get ready for this. Say goodnight, Jonesy.
Good night, Jonesy.
See all of you in court. Somebody say tangent, tangent. Somebody say podcast, podcast. Tangent, tangent. Podcast, podcast. This is the Tangent Podcast. Good night, everyone. Good night. Thank you for all your support. We are the Tangent True Crime Podcast. We'll see you all.